So this is our missile hit detector, and the missile hit detector not only detects for a collision with a missile, but it also will actually make the missile through an RPC call. And up here we have two variables. We have a private variable for the GUI controller, and then we have our actual bullet game object. And this is just used for the make missile script, or make missiles function, sorry. On the start, we wait a little bit, and then we assign a GUI controller to equal the game object defined with tag GUI controller.get component GUI controller. And so this just assigns GUI controller to the actual GUI controller script. We then just test to see if we are enabled. If we are enabled, we find out what the other object's tag is. If the other object's tag is missile, we set the GUI controller's health to -=20. Then if the GUI controller's health equals 0, we tell everybody that we got fragged right here. And then we also find the player data for ID, and that's in this function right here. We find player data for ID, and then we go over here and we input other.gameObject.getComponent.bulletScript, or sorry, getComponentBulletScript.id, and then we take the network view from that, from this returned object. Find player data for ID returns a player data object. And so with that player data object that we get from this function, we take the network view from that game object, and then we send an RPC call, add to score, and RPC mode all, and then we add 1 to that person's score. And so what this line basically does is if it kills us, we add 1 person to the person who sent that missile, and so we add 1 point to the person's score who sent the missile. And then we randomize the spawn point for our player, and then we move it to that spawn point. And then we change the GUI controller's health to equal 100. Then we have the find player data for ID, returns the game object. And this just starts a for statement with the variable I, and the I equals I is a player data object, and it winds up going through all the game objects of the type player data, and so it finds all the player data scripts and assigns it to I. And so we check to see if I.id is equal to ID, and if it is, we return I as a game object. If we don't find anything, we will just return null. Then we have our make missile script, and we have the bullet script. Then we have a temp variable, and so we have temp be a game object, and then when it equals instantiate, and then we just we instantiate a bullet with the position and rotation of position and rotation, and then we assign the return value of instantiate to, and we assign that to temp. And then we have bullet script equal temp.getComponentBulletScript, and then we have the bullet script's name value equal n, and the bullet script's ID equal ID. And n is over here, and ID is over here, and it gets it's just the built-in parameters to the make missile function.